With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Detroit Lions and the Seattle Seahawks. The excitement level around here at a fever pitch as we're underway in the 2020 NFC Championship game. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Come on, let's go.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught inside the 15. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 47 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
So the first points of the night belong to our home team as they're able to take the opening kickoff and at least get 3 points out of it.
Yeah, and that helps the crowd, right? Helps people feel good about why they're there watching this game. They moved the ball well on their opening drive.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They go play action here on first down. Now he's forced out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. They run. This is Scarborough. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On second down, here's Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. The first carry now, this is Johnson. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Oh, nope, never had a chance. Well to the right, no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin.
Let's go get it right here. Come on. Well. We're up for signals.
Here's Ajayi. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
14.
Play action. Now Wilson. And he's going to block it. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Shotgun. Gotta go. 18.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Gotta go.
On 3rd down, Wilson. This is caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Check 50, check 50.
They'll try to run with a J. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd and goal, Ajayi, the lone man in the backfield. He'll get it up the middle. And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Wilson on the keeper. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
Now, this feels like old-school football, because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
Big jumbo! Big jumbo! Big jumbo! Hey, tempo!
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Wilson denied on the 4th down keeper. And the Lion defense able to come up there with a goal line stand. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Middle.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you put something out there, you're giving yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
They needed some breathing room. He gave it to them. 11 yards and a 1st down. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this.
4 down. Hey, go here! Set, lady!
Stafford on 3rd down. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, That'll drive a team towards a victory.
On 1st and 10, Stafford keeps himself upright. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
Attack 50 left. Big 20, big 20.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Stafford here. And now he'll tuck it and run. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Stafford on 1st down. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, tag 53.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. This will be caught inside the 10. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Again, it's Stafford. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Jaron Reed busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. They'll step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
And his kick is good. And that will knock things up here late in the first half. And how about this decision? Tie game first half, but here's an onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. So, yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And that's complete to Jesse James. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now Scarborough. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
This is Scarborough. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here we go.
They try again with Scarborough. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before.
Now a hit and a loose football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Boys, here we go. Attack 53.
It's Scarborough again. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at him with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop him. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. 3rd and goal. Now a toss play. This is Scarborough. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Bo Scarborough taking it in. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're
is
going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Wilson. Flush to his right. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. And even 60 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now a play fake here on first down. Buying time to his left. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Nick Vannett, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start things on first down with Bo Scarborough. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
40 got. 40 got. Hey, take 2. 2 3. 2.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. Now a handoff. Johnson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Did they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. Out of the gun, Stafford. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. They'll try the air now with Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
The Lions on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it, but it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense, but when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter, you got to feel pretty good as a defense.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And an alley to run. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Clock running, and the Seahawks, they're running too, trying to speed up to the line of scrimmage. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Wilson now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
Check 51, check 51. Play it out, play it out, play it, play it. Hey, hey. 14, 14.
He'll look to throw. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll go down at the 28. It'll be a gain of 4. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
They'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett in the final minute. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a 1-score game in the 4th. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Ooh, with a juke. Oh, now he bowls him over. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And an alley to run. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Back to throw. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
And his kick here is good. And we are all tied at 16 apiece. And an overtime playoff game, but the rules, they stay the same as they did in the regular season.
That's exactly right. Whoever scores first, unless it's a touchdown, the other team has a chance to match. That's how it really gets played out. But remember this, no matter how far we go in overtime, in the regular season, there was only one period. Here, we're going to go until we have a winner.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now.
14, run it. Run left. Switch right.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Gotta go.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. You know, Charles, just thinking about it, plenty of recent conference championship games have needed OT to decide who goes to the Super Bowl.
And we can go back a little ways, can't we? Go back 2012. Giants in San Francisco. That was an overtime game. The Giants ended up going on to the Super Bowl. How about the
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
14.
Play action. It's Wilson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, I'm wide open. They found it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms, because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
They go play action with Wilson. He's going to go up top for the end. Oh, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A costly mistake here at OT.
And you know what they say when you throw an interception like that in overtime? You don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. You throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 34 yards there and a first down. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, partner, recent conference championship games that have been needed to decide who goes to the Super Bowl. What do you got?
Well, if we go back to 2015, how about Green Bay? Seattle. Now, it looks like Green Bay's got this thing. Russell Wilson to Jermaine Kearse. That gets it done. And then go back to 2010. We think Brett Favre with the Vikings has the destiny, but they're at New Orleans. It's the Saints. And they get it done. And in overtime, go on to the Super Bowl. And they won that one. They beat the Colts, correct?
Yep. A couple of the more memorable ones for sure. On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. So as they head to the sidelines, we'll head to this break on EA Sports. And they'll go on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. So we'll take a break with them and be right back.
Monday. Okay, tag 53.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10. Overtime here out west, and you got a team from the Eastern time zone. Maybe their body clock's a little thrown off, or is that overhyped?
I don't think it's overhyped, and I think that for most teams, you're hoping that your mind overrules your body, because your body's looking for slippers and bedtime clothes, right? They're looking for the pajamas. But in this case, you've got to stay with it mentally. And what a lot of teams do, they never change their watches. They always say on East Coast time and just go ahead that way to try and defeat any of the effects of moving to the west.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. And the kick is good. He got it. And with that, they are off to the Super Bowl. And for all these guys, whether you're a rookie, a 10-year veteran, there's no feeling like this NFC champs.
And you feel like family. Never at any time do you feel more like family than when you're sharing the joy of being the NFC champs. And now everyone gets to say they're going to the Super Bowl.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks from the Super Bowl.